You have loaded your data. Now, how do you actually find anything inside it? In this video, I will show you how to filter, sort and get real insights from your data using Pandas. And if you are coming from C#, this is basically LINQ just written in Python. Why this matters? So in a real world data work, we almost never operate an entire dataset at once. Instead, we filter data based on conditions, sort it to make sense of priorities, and then compute summaries. So if you think in C# terms, this is exactly what LINQ encourages us to do. Filter first, then order, then project or aggregate. Continuing from previous lecture, the data frame has already been created and the CSV files has already been loaded. Now this is important because Pandas workflows are typically incremental. Once data is in a data frame, you work with it step by step, filtering, sorting and summarizing without constantly reloading or reshaping the data. So for the rest of this lecture, assume the data frame is already in memory and ready to use. Now, the most fundamental operations in Pandas is filtering rows based on condition. When we write an expression like df of data frame of df age greater than 30, Pandas evaluates that condition for every row and keeps only the rows where the condition is true. So conceptually, it is identical to writing a where clause in LINQ in C#. The difference is that in Pandas, we express the condition directly using column names. The style may look unusual at first, but it becomes very natural once you realize that Pandas is designed around column-wise operations. We very often see that the single condition is not enough. In Pandas, when combining multiple conditions, we use the AND operator for AND, capital AND, and the OR operator and the OR operator for AND and OR. Each condition must also be wrapped in parentheses. This is one of the most common beginner mistakes, especially for developers coming from C# or JavaScript, where AND OR feel more natural. Okay, AND OR feel more natural than this AND and OR symbols. The key takeaway here is that Pandas conditions are vectorized, meaning they operate across entire columns at once. Once the data is filtered, sorting becomes very useful or extremely useful. Pandas uses sort values method to order rows based on one or more columns. You can sort in ascending or descending order and even specify multiple columns for hierarchical sorting. From a LINQ perspective, this maps cleanly to order by and then by. Sorting does not change the underlying data. It simply changes how rows are presented, which makes analysis much cleaner. Aggregation is where Pandas start returning single values instead of tables. Functions like mean, sum, and count operate on a single column, which Pandas refers to as a series. This distinction is important. Filtering and sorting return data frames, but aggregation returns scalar values. If you are used to LINQ, this is similar to calling count or average at the end of a query pipeline. Let's say we only want people over 30. This is all we need. And this is called Boolean indexing. You are just passing a condition inside the data frame, and this is the multiple conditions. And if you want more control, combine conditions, just remember the parenthesis. And this is one place, parenthesis, where beginners usually get errors. So now let's sort this highest salary first. Sorting the employees by their salary in the descending order. So 90,000 first, 80,000, 70,000, 60,000. So in a descending order sorting. And selecting columns after filtering. So your now operating through df.dataframe.loc, which I have told, this is giving, the condition as well as the records, as well as the columns for which these conditions are fulfilling. Age greater than 30 with name and salary. You extract the name and salary with the, employee whose age is greater than 30. So name and salary. So these are the name and salary field for these 3 records returned, who has got age more than 30, and then basic aggregation. Now let's get something useful. Average salary and sum of all the salaries and total number of employees. It is getting the mean of this value, and sum of the salaries 352,000 and number of salaries are 5. Okay, 5 employees are there. And aggregation or filtered subset is, so for department is IT, the mean value of the salary is this. Okay, 76,666.66666, etc. Now, this is exactly the output you will see when you run the notebook yourself. Now, the complete pre-executed Jupyter notebook for this lecture is available in the lecture resources, and I strongly recommend opening it and running the cells to explore the results at your own pace. So let's get back to the remaining slides. Now, there are some common beginner mistakes, and these are the few mistakes that almost everyone makes when starting with Pandas. Using and instead of this and ampersand, or instead of this or symbol. Okay, and forgetting parentheses around conditions, or expecting aggregation functions to return tables are all very common issues. Forgetting parentheses and expecting aggregation to return tables are all very common issues. The key lesson here is to be explicit and intentional. Pandas rewards clarity much more than cleverness. If your code reads clearly, it is usually correct. Now let's see what we have learned in this section wrap up. So this brings us to the end of section 4, and where we focus on file handling and working with tabular data using Panda. And from this point onwards, we are supposed to be more comfortable in loading data, filtering it, sorting it, and extracting basic summaries. These skills form a critical foundation for everything that comes next in this course.